everybody, I'm Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Peek a Mouse. In this game, you're going to be taking this box apart, building a little house out of it, and then using a flashlight to peek in the sides of it to then remember what objects are all over the floor. It's a kid's memory style game from Gigamic. Let's take a look. So this game comes together. There's a bunch of pieces that all fit in a box, and then the whole thing has a sleeve holding it in place. But when you put the game together, what you do is you put the plastic insert in this part of the box. You then take this, and you have to kind of assemble this, but it stays together on top of that. And then on top of that, you got the roof. It all settles in to make a big box. There's a hole in the top, and that is where the flashlight is going to go. Players are going to be picking a board. There are 4 levels in the game. Easy level, intermediate, then you can play with the harder levels. And each board has more things on the board. You have a spot that you're going to be putting your mouse on to keep track of you as a team. And you're going to have a bunch of wooden objects, and the colors will be used depending on what level it's in. Each object has 2 sides. You can see this one has a ring with a jewel, just a ring. This has a key, 2 different keys on it. This has a Lego piece and multiple Lego pieces. And what you'll do to start the game off is you're going to take all these pieces, put them in the hole on the roof, and then shake this up. Moving it around so the pieces are in different spots in this box. This is where it's going to get a little tricky to show on camera. But this is a 30-second flashlight. And so when everyone's ready, you press the button. That flashlight's going to be on, and everybody's going to be looking through the windows in here. So you'll be looking in the window, trying to look at these different objects and where they are in the house. Now, the camera is not going to be able to see very well, but you saw an object kind of there, but we're not going to be tilting it like this. This is on the table, and you're just looking, trying to remember which ones are in the house until, after 30 seconds, this light is going to go off. And at that point, it's now time to answer questions. There's a bunch of tiles that players will be placing on the board, and this is done randomly. So on this board, this is level 3, for example. We'd flip this over and we go, in which room is the button? And so players are going to pick which room the button is in. And then maybe this one here says, is the dice in that room? Yes or no? Or even harder, this one here, which objects? And you're just going to put a check on which objects are in that room. But the trickiest one down here, I think, here's the Legos, and you have to say which side of the piece is this one on? Is it on this side, or is it on the other side? And there are different questions based on how hard you've picked. So I'm showing a more tricky side here. And again, there's even more objects in here. The red objects are thrown in the hardest level. But it might say, for example, are these objects here in the same room? So players are answering these questions, and then when it's done, you're going to open the lid of the box and see which ones you got right or not. Each one that you've gotten right is going to give you points, and you'll mark those points on this track. You'll do this for 4 rounds. After 4 rounds, you're going to score yourself based on how many points you got right. So basically 12 points will win you the game. Other than that, it gives you like these different things. It's a cooperative game, and that's how you play. Okay, so this is definitely a game for kids, right? It says on here, it's ages 5 to 9, and I think that age range is pretty accurate. You might be able to play with younger, and some older kids might enjoy the game a bit because as they're trying to figure things out in it. And as an adult, I played this with my son, and we had a lot of fun looking in there. And I'd be like, okay, I'm going to look in these 2 rooms and remember what's in those rooms. You look in those 2 rooms and remember what's in them. And I'll tell you what, you're looking and be like, okay, that room has a button, it has a button, it has a button. Okay, which side of the button? Oh, no, I didn't remember that part. And so definitely adding more objects increases the difficulty, but it's a cooperative game. You're just trying to remember where stuff is, and as you flip the tokens over, you answer the questions. The rules say that, hey, if you're playing with young kids, you can even turn the questions over ahead of time so you know what you're looking for. But I found that at least with my son, the difficulty of this game felt just right. The flashlight's a pretty cool device. The fact that this all comes apart out of this sleeve and builds that little box thing, you shake it up, it works really well. It's a simple game. I don't think adults would be thrilled with, playing such a memory game all the time. And with kids, if they have a hard time with memory, this is probably a way to help them learn. It does memory in a different way. The three-dimensional nature of it is very good. So I'm giving this one here a 7, and that's a kid's rating. I think that a lot of kids are going to enjoy this. I'm going to put it in the Dice Tower library. It has the ages 5 to 9 right here, so I don't think people are going to be deceived by what's in the box. But it's one that I also had fun playing with my kids. I would not do it without that. But together, I think this is something unique, interesting. The flashlight adds a bit of pizzazz for kids. So check it out. That's Pika Mouse. I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching the Dice Tower.